What an orderly debate.
You both have said Vladimir Putin is a better
Gentlemen, we're going to
leader
get to
than the
Russia
president.
in just a moment, but I do want to get back to the question.
But in the midst, Elaine, thank you, thank you, Senator.
These guys have praised Vladimir Putin as a great leader. How can they defend
Senator? We do have that coming up here. But in the meantime, the questions were about your running mate.
I must have hit a nerve here.
Why won't he release his tax return?
Well, we're answering the question about the business thing.
I do want to come back on this.
He's going to release his tax returns when the audit is over.
Richard Nixon released tax returns when he was under audit.
They're going to raise your taxes.
If you can't meet the Nixon standard,
the people at home cannot understand either one of you when you speak over each other.
The director of the FBI or Homeland Security said, we can't know for certain who these people are coming from Syria.
We can. And when we don't let them know, we don't let them in.
She had a Clinton Foundation accepting contributions from foreign governments.
You are Donald Trump's apprentice. Let me talk about this
Senator,
issue
I think I'm still on my time.
Well, isn't this a discussion?
So what is up with Tim Kaine anyway? Is his middle name Coe? Hat tip to Howard Dean on that one. Let's share another line.
I was in Washington, D.C. on 9/11. I saw the clouds of smoke rise from the Pentagon.
I was in Virginia, where the Pentagon's located.
I know you were. That's small potatoes compared to Hillary Clinton calling half of Donald Trump's supporters a basket of deplorables.
Hillary Clinton said something on the campaign trail, and the very next day she said, you know what, I shouldn't have said that.
She said she shouldn't have said half.
Governor, this is Senator Kaine's 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, that's right. So now we're even.
Yeah, now we're even. Now, if you want to see who lost the debate, find out who's whining most about it. But last night's different. Pence clearly won, despite moderator bias. Elaine Keano lost control, which happens when you only corral one cat, and that one cat is more amped than Pete Townshend's Gibson. The debate turned into an airline counter after the flights are canceled. And there's that one guy, Johnny Eyebrows, mugging his elastic face to get the attention of the ticket agent. The debate was hard to follow. Abrupt right turns, left turns, heavy braking. It was like watching a squirrel take a driving test. Still, Pence rose above it like a tugboat among churn. He turned into a fifth animatronic head, destined for Mount Rushmore. Stony, but stoic. Pence looked like a president. Kaine looked like your band teacher. So oddly enough, the chaos actually helped Pence, for his reactions reflected truth lost in the chaos of 2016. Experience doesn't just mean establishment. It can also mean cool competence. Last, the debate contrasted two belief systems. If a Martian saw those two men last night, how could it not guess which one is conservative? It's the one who conserves, the calm leader gently swatting away a caustic fly. And you got to admit, Pence has great eyesight. 2020. All right, Eric, what did you make of the debate overall in terms of like the moderator and the structure?
You know, I like the moderator. I thought she got a lot of topics in, a lot of substance, a lot of policy questions were asked. I know there was a lot of, there's a lot of analysis on how many times she asked. Pence a hard question versus Kaine. But what I liked about it was it showed who Tim Kaine was.
Right.
I had no idea. First of all, I pushed back a little bit when Donald Trump picked Mike Pence. And now I look at it and go, wow, what a brilliant pick that was. Because those two sat there, they went mano a mano, which means hand to hand, not man to man, but mano a mano.
I just learned that now.
And Pence was measured. He was respectful, intelligent, confident, whereas Kaine, condescending, interrupting, coarse. He was abrasive. And I just thought of the American people, if you're sitting there wondering if the top of the ticket goes down for whatever reason, is incapacitated, which one of these two guys do you want? And there's no question, Pence trounced Kaine.
Kimberly, there was a lot of crosstalk, which never happens on cable news or on panel shows.
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
I don't know either. What could she have done to improve that? It seemed like it went off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, I think she could have controlled it, to be honest with you. Obviously, he had an agenda to interrupt as many times as possible, so he gets the gold medal for the most interruptions in, the quick time frame of the debate. But I think she had to, set those rules straight up from the beginning. Listen, I'm not going to tell you again. Please don't interrupt. Let's respect, I have both sides' time to speak. Something to that effect, or I saw Megyn Kelly said she would have given him the hand at the first. That's the signal, international sign for stop, and then try and take control from there. But, I think overall she did a good job. That wasn't so great, but it was more to the fault of Tim Kaine for not being professional and for interrupting all the time. He really just did himself a disservice. I mean, if Hillary wins the presidency, people are going to be like praying, lighting candles. Hillary, stay healthy, because this guy just seemed to me to not be presidential. I liked him more before I listened to him in that debate last night. And I don't know if that was the advice that he was getting from the Clinton campaign, from, Robbie Mook, or what, because he seemed to say, oh, he won because he interrupted the most and he didn't let, Pence get his words out. Pence, to me, seemed calm. He seemed informed. He was prepared. He was presidential. And he thought, well, actually, very good pick by Donald Trump. And Dana, I heard you say something last night right after the debate, talking about a lot of people were thinking, is Pence going to run? Was he going to be at the top of the ticket? I mean, he really, I think, proved himself to be a good choice for those that were supporters of his to begin with, that would have liked to see him on a ticket at the top.
Yeah, I was saying that back before there were 17 candidates in 2015, and people mused for the couple years before the announcement of who was going to run, people on the conservative side would say, well, Mike Pence should definitely be in the mix of that. And then when he decided not to run as a presidential candidate, I think there was a lot of disappointment. I thought the debate was so rushed in the first 20 minutes. I was like, whoa, what in the world? And then it calmed down so much after that that I kept finding myself going, wait, what did they just say about Social Security? Because there was a lot more that could have been teased out from that. I do think she missed some opportunities for some follow-up questions, or they did for each other.
Right.
Especially on some of the things, like, for example, I think Mike Pence did an excellent job, but one of the things he did was totally dodge some of the questions and the points that Kaine was making, or that Quijano made about, well, what about when Donald Trump said X or Y, and he was like, oh, he just blew right past that. Great style points, but I do think that in some ways that was probably a little bit disconcerting for some people. But for conservatives watching it, Mike Pence was a champion last night.
One, I thought the problem was that Elaine Quijano kept sticking to a script.
Yes.
When the chaos, like they'd go in some different argument, and then she would go, no, we
have to talk about North
we have to
Korea.
talk about this. That didn't help. But also, I think Kaine didn't help her either.
Well, no, I think she was a weak moderator. I mean, I think that's what came through, is that she was trying to organize these people, and their goal was to talk.
Yeah.
So, but let's go to the big picture here, the day after. The day after, what I hear from Republicans is, wow, what a relief. After that terrible week with Trump's disastrous debate performance, Miss Universe, the tax story, boy, Pence really held his own. We don't have any problem with what Mike Pence did. And we can even argue, because the polls show it, Frank Luntz's group, CNN Instant Poll, that what you get was Pence being the more likable candidate, his numbers, his favorability numbers inching up, while you saw Kaine's go down. The key, I think, Greg, is that Pence exceeded expectations in terms of his performance, and especially so for Republicans, some of whom say to me today, they even feel like, it's buyer's remorse. I think we hear a little bit around the table like, gee, maybe he should have been the candidate, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
I felt, when I saw Pence up there, I thought, that guy, he's president.
But like conservative.
Yeah, he's more conservative.
More conservative, possibly, maybe even more presidential.
Way more
he's
presidential.
not going to bring out the type of crowds in the vote and the enthusiasm that Donald Trump does. I mean,
we don't know that.
And if you started with a Mike Pence in the field of 17, are you sure that Mike Pence is the last man standing in the field?
I don't have any.
And that's the rub.
Obviously not.
Universe.
But here's my point that struck me last night. I was watching the debate with Miss Dana Perino, and to my brain,
we had a blast.
I was thinking, hey, you know what? This guy, Pence, is throwing Trump under the bus time and time again. And so the prosecutorial mode that Tim Kaine employed, which is, hey, he called women dogs. He said that Mexicans are rapists. He said that Putin's a great guy. And Kaine kept coming back to this. And you never saw Mike Pence.
He never owned it.
Respond and defend Donald Trump.
But I think part of the reason was Kaine had piled them so many of them, and he was also so irritating. Yeah. He was just irritating, and his constant eye contact. I have to defend the moderator. When Pence would talk, Kaine would just look right at the moderator and go like this.
Didn't he wink at her when?
Yeah, it was like he was constantly deflecting her so that she had to go to him whenever.
She's an exceedingly nice person.
Yes.
And a gentle person.
Probably.
And she's a mom. And in some ways, maybe she could have said, "Oi, stop it."
Yeah.
What are you?
But
Not gonna squirt
going
bottle
into
at
the
them.
debate, going in, she said she had nine topics, nine buckets that she wanted to get to, 90 minutes, with a 2-minute response from each. I'm looking at it going, that's very, very aggressive to be able to get that.
She wanted to do what
as you
Lester
point out,
didn't do.
What Greg points out, that Tim Kaine never really answered what he was asked. He just took a shot and turned it to a Trump dig.
Do you think they
instead of
should have had the
answering
buzzer?
question.
Like in the primary
honestly,
debates?
I love that debate. I thought it was great. They both went at it.
I thought it was really good.
She didn't fact check. You know what? And I think for once, I thought that was great. Let the candidates duke it out. If someone says something they don't agree with or think is wrong, then point it out. I like that format.
So
better.
this is what bothered me. So I'm watching it, and because I now today understand that stylistically it was a huge win for Mike Pence, that he looked calm, he wasn't interrupting. But as I was watching, Eric, what I saw was that when the issue was brought up about Vladimir Putin, here's Mike Pence. That guy's a bully. Yeah. That guy's I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. That's not what Donald Trump said.
So what we talked about yesterday, is this debate about defending the boss, or is this debate to find out who these two guys are in the event the boss is incapacitated?
Well, when Mike Pence, when Tim Kaine says, Donald Trump says we're going to punish women who have abortions, he says, oh, no. And I'm thinking, but that's exactly what he said. Or when, in fact, Mike Pence himself said Vladimir Putin's a better leader than Barack Obama, you know what? Unbelievable. Mike Pence says, no, I didn't say it. I'm thinking to myself, where's the fact checker? What's going on here?
Well, the fact checker, the people sitting at home, like all of us, that can make a decision and be informed and say that was stated before or it wasn't. I mean, I think she tried to get through a long list of subjects. One of the criticisms of the presidential debate was that Lester Holt didn't get to enough. Like, wait, what about Obamacare? What about we brought up all these issues. What about choice? All of that didn't get through.
Which wasn't even a question from Lester Holt.
But also, can I just, we don't have time, I just want to go to the sound on tape, which is, it shows that Quijano asked a number of questions to Pence, but not that many to Kaine.
Governor, with all due respect, the question was about whether it seems fair to you that Mr. Trump said he brilliantly used the laws to pay as little tax as legally possible. So, Governor, how would these millions of undocumented immigrants leave? Would they be forcibly removed?
Elaine,
Governor, the question was about homegrown.
And so, but you asked the trustworthy question at the very beginning. The reason the American people don't trust Hillary Clinton is because they are looking at the pay-to-play politics that she operated with the Clinton Foundation through a private server while she's Secretary of State. Senator, we would know a lot more about it if Hillary Clinton would just turn over the 33,000 emails that she refused to turn over that were in her private server. We'd have a much better picture of what the Clinton Foundation was doing.
Senator Kaine.
So he brought up some very important topics, but she had to get back onto the thing, so she goes hard on Pence, soft on Kaine. That's what I saw.
Well, that was the general consensus. But, you know, she was trying to keep her composure. And I have to tell you, I'm so impressed with Mike Pence, the ability to stay focused, stayed on message. He was able to, he didn't get mired in all the specific, oh, Trump said this, and this, because then he'd be there all night trying to, like, go through the laundry list that he was saying. It was more about Kaine putting that hit in, that rapid fire. But he wasn't certainly defending Hillary Clinton. I didn't hear anything about
I think that's exactly what he did, and that's what
he hit Trump.
No, but I'm saying the instant poll today said that Kaine did a better job of defending Clinton
because
than
you know why?
of defending Trump.
Because Pence didn't take the tack that I'm going to attack Hillary Clinton. He didn't attack Hillary.
I was talking about defending your candidate.
So it looks like Kaine did a better job defending the boss because he was never really pressed on some of the stuff that Hillary Clinton has been accused of. It was the other way. It was Kaine taking shots at Donald Trump at Mike Pence.
I thought you would have been delighted. I thought the reason you liked it was because what you saw was Mike Pence went at the email, he went at the deplorables comment, and I think Kaine did a good job of defending.
No, I don't think I think Mike Pence spent most of the time answering a quick question, answering the Trump attack question, and then turning.
Well,
really
just a final word
here.
He
brilliantly, masterfully debated Tim Kaine and beat him.
My final word on this is: did anybody who was undecided come to a decision? According to the Wall Street Journal, according to the polls, no.
Well, according to CNN, that's incorrect.
No, according most undecided not swayed.
Their poll said that more people then were gravitating towards Trump. After that debate and listening to Kaine and Pence.
I'm talking right over you, just like they did.